Welcome team to this daily movement. Just going to take you through a few movements to get your body woken up for the day, or if you've had a really tough day, exhausting day, it'll be a great way for you to wind down before going to sleep. So all you're going to need is a mat for this daily movement. I'm just going to take you through some movements through from the hips, the upper body, moving through the neck as well. And just going to get yourselves all the way kind of wound down or wound up, ready for the day ahead. So we just come down onto the mat onto our backs. And you'll see I've got my shoes off here. I always recommend that you do these movements with your shoes off. Just going to allow you to kind of get your feet a little bit more grounded as well. And we'll do some work all the way down to the toes. But as you're here, just want you to start to take a few deep breaths from the stomach. So really trying to breathe deep from the belly. And deep exhales. Really trying to fill this belly up with as much air as possible. Good work. Now maintain that breathing, but all I want you to do is just be a little bit aware of your lower back here. So if your natural position is to have this arc in your lower back and to be able to fit your hand there, I really want you to try and get rid of that. So I want you to kind of tuck your hips under, almost dig your heels into the ground, lift your bum up a little bit, and really try and get all of your back flat against the mat as you carry on to breathe. And what might help you get kind of a better feeling of that is to think about breathing down into the mat as well. So try to fill up all of this area with air. Touching down to the mat, and exhale. We're just going to do a little bit more breathing work here, a few more breaths, and exhale, and last one here, and exhale. Good work. Now let's bring the knees up. So I'm going to have my knees kind of over my hips. So my hips are 90 degrees, knee and 90 degrees, and my ankle at 90 degrees. I'm just going to take my hands up to match as well. Now from this position, I'm still thinking about being able to breathe into my stomach deep here, still got all of my lower back on the floor. And then all I'm going to do from this position is just going to reach my left heel out ahead of me. So I'm just reaching my left heel, really trying to push through that heel, and then just bring this back. This is going to wake up a few of our core muscles. Well, our core is very hard to distinguish. I like to think of it as kind of anything that stabilizes you from the mid part of the body. So we're just alternating from left leg to right leg, reaching out with the heel, hands stay where they are. Good. You're going to find this a little bit harder to breathe as you're reaching forward. So it's going to just take a little bit more effort to still breathe from that area. Just a few more here. Reach out and come back up. Good work. Plant your feet back down. And all I want you to do is just a few movements here just to shake that off. I just want you to dig your heels into the ground and lift your bum up off the mat. Squeeze the bum as hard as you can and slowly drop back down. A few more of these. Drive the heels into the mat, lift, squeeze the bum as hard as you can. Drop back down. A few more here. Heels in, lift up. And the last one, lift those heels in, lift back up. Good work. Now we're going to come all the way up and come all the way up onto our knees into this position. And then all I want you to do from here is just drop down and sit onto your heels. Now, for some of you, this might be quite an uncomfortable position, but I really want you to get used to being in this position. So I like the shoes off, and I like you just trying to be able to sit your bum down the floor. If it feels uncomfortable, kind of just do a few movements, kind of standing up, kind of dropping back down, and just try and make this position a little bit more comfortable for you. Good. Now just shifting from here, we're just going to do a little bit of work on the neck. So I'm just going to spin to face you, and all we're going to do from here is just think about dropping our left ear down to our left shoulder. So just drop left ear down to left shoulder. I'm just trying to lift that chin slightly, and now I'm thinking about keeping my breath in my stomach, but also thinking about breathing into this left side of my neck as well. Hands up, breathe in and exhale. Try to release a little bit of tension. Just letting this head become heavy into this left shoulder. Putting my right shoulder down and back. Good work. Just twisting it up, almost trying to wind up the neck. And then drop to the other side. Right ear over to the right shoulder. Lift up that chin, lift it to the left side. Still breathing, good work. One more breath here. Good, then just let the head become heavy. And what you're going to do is place both hands onto the back of your head and just let the hands become a little bit of extra weight and just pull yourself down. So we're just letting the weight of the hands pull the head over. We're not tugging over with the head, just let the weight of the hands pull. Full deep breath here. And out. One more breath. Good work. Let's spin ourselves around now into a lunge position. So we're going to have one leg on the floor, got my right leg down, and the left leg's going to come up into this position here. And what I'm going to do is do a little bit of work onto the hip. So if you need something underneath this leg, that's absolutely fine. If you need a cushion or something, but what we're going to do from here is just drop ourselves down, feel the stretch come into this right hip flexor. Take a full deep breath in here. Exhale. And then we just come all the way back and back into that kind of first position we worked on, but just on one leg. So I tuck the toe under, I drop the bum back, and I now straighten this leg, and now I'm sitting back on this leg. That's why I really like this position. It really gets a lot of movement into this knee, but it helps us flow in between these two positions. So back leg down, front leg out here, and then we can rock forward back into that first stretch. Again, full deep breath in, full deep breath out, and then rock back. What I also like about having the shoes off is it gives us a good position to kind of load into these toes at the front side as well. We can just kind of dig these toes into the ground. Really important with golf as well that we can kind of get good foot pressure and good grip on each of our toes as we're thinking about kind of our foot pressures and ground reaction forces. One more of these, take a full deep breath in, full deep breath out, load back into this other side, and we're just getting a little bit of a stretch in this left hamstring. Tuck your toe up if you want. Good, and come back to the middle here. Let's swap sides. So right foot goes forward, left leg back, and again we're just dropping into that low lunge stretch. Full deep breath in, full deep breath out. Tuck back toe under, drop ourselves back into this position here. Loading this back knee, leg comes up, hamstring stretch comes on. If you want to grab your toes, if you want to pull them up, whatever you want to do, drop your head over. And then move forward into that front lunge. Full deep breath in, full deep breath out. Drop back into that start of the position. Just do one more round of these. All the way back in and forward to here. It was great when I got my shoes off, as you can see my amazing golfer stand, which I'm sure all of you guys are rocking as well. And let's drop all the way back into that last one here. Perfect. Now we're going to come round. I'm going to come face you for this position. And what we're going to do is just drop into like a deep squat, but I want you to really get your heels off of the ground. So we this is our starting position, both heels off the ground onto our toes into this deep squat. But from here you can be kind of springy and a little bit loose. And what I want you to do is rock from side to side. So as I rock to my right side, I drop my right knee forward, left leg comes down, left heel comes onto the mat, and I kind of open out this left hip, and then I drop to the left and open up this right hip. Right foot then comes down to the floor, and then when you feel comfortable you can kind of just rock between these two positions, really getting the hips opened up. That's getting a little bit of movement through to the ankle as well. If you need your hands on the floor for a little bit of support, if you need to hold on to something, absolutely fine. If not, just feel like you can just rock from left to right and just get some movement into these ankles. Just keep on rocking. If you're feeling a little bit more confident, you can spend a little bit more time in this kind of middle deep squat position and then rock over. And that middle position here with both heels down will just start to feel a little bit easier the more you kind of rock. And then you can kind of just chill out in this deep squat position for a little bit, just open up the hips and still maintaining this breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Good work. Then we'll just take it all the way over to the right side, and I just want to see if you can extend your left leg out. So I don't care if you're on the toe here, that's absolutely fine. But I really want to just get this left leg extended out. If you can drop it back a little bit, great. We're really just trying to get a little bit of movement here. So just turn around, kind of get a little bit of rotation here, open up that hip. And then same to the other side, we jump over, open up the right leg. A little bit of movement on this leg as well. Good, and then keeping this foot down, I want you to just come in
to what is going to be a nice stretch into the back of the hamstrings. So we've got our feet nice and wide. I've got my legs relatively straight, and then from here we can just chill out. We can just kind of let ourselves become heavy. We can let our hands drop down. We can touch to one side if we want or to the other. But I like here just kind of becoming a little bit heavy in the upper body. The heavier I make my upper body, the more I'm kind of just allowing that tension to release. I can shift my hips from side to side if I want. I can almost shift myself backwards and shift myself forward, and just kind of have a little fidget in this position. Just feels great to release all the tension here. And then when you feel a little bit more comfortable, you just walk the feet in a little bit more. And just do the same again. Don't worry here if your legs aren't completely straight. I don't mind if you're a little bit bent. The key here is just to be heavy with the upper half. A little bit of fidgeting. Walk the feet in a little bit more. Good. A little bit more of a fidget. And eventually I just want to release all of that tension in the upper body, and from there you can walk away and enjoy the rest of your day. Fantastic work, guys. See you in the next video.